Let's be honest, raised beds are every gardener's dream. They look neat, they drain well, they warm up faster in spring, and they put your plants at the perfect height for easy tending. But here's the not-so-pretty side. Raised beds can also turn into all-you-can-eat buffets for pests if you're unknowingly doing one thing wrong. It usually starts like this. You water generously, you top your soil with a soft mulch, maybe shredded bark or straw, and you feel good about keeping the moisture in. But within a week or two, you start seeing little gnats hovering every time you touch the soil. Maybe your seedlings look chewed overnight, or you spot mysterious holes in the leaves that weren't there yesterday. The truth? Many of us unintentionally invite pests into our raised beds by creating the perfect conditions for them. Damp, undisturbed organic material right at the surface. It's like putting out a welcome mat that says, fungus gnats, slugs, and chewing insects, free room and board. Today I'm going to share the exact habit that fuels these invasions, why it's so attractive to pests, and the two simple, dirt-cheap changes, switching to sand-sprinkled top mulch and using live garlic spray, that can flip your raised bed from a pest magnet into a pest fortress. And I promise, if you stick with me, you'll not only understand why it works, but you'll also have the step-by-step know-how to start seeing results this season. Raised beds are warmer and moister than in-ground gardens, which plants love, but so do pests. When you layer traditional mulch like straw, wood chips, or shredded leaves directly on top, you create a cozy habitat that stays moist day and night. That dampness is a paradise for fungus gnat larvae, pill bugs, and the early stages of many chewing pests. And because raised beds have contained soil, those pests don't have to travel far. Once they find food, seedlings, tender roots, decaying mulch, they multiply fast. Unlike in the open ground where predators and dry conditions can slow them down, raised beds give them an undisturbed haven. It's not that mulch is bad, it's how we use it in raised beds. Mulch should protect soil without turning the top layer into a breeding ground. That's where sand comes in as a surprisingly powerful tool. So, here's the science. Pests like fungus gnats lay their eggs in the top inch of damp soil or mulch. Their larvae feed on decaying organic matter, but in the process they'll also nibble tender root hairs. When you replace the top half inch to an inch of your mulch layer with coarse sand, you instantly change the surface conditions. Sand dries out quickly after watering, creating a barrier that gnat larvae just can't survive in, and adult gnats really don't like to land on. It also discourages slugs and snails, since they prefer soft, damp surfaces to glide over. Even ants are less inclined to tunnel through coarse sand compared to loose soil or mulch. Now this doesn't mean removing all mulch. You still want organic matter beneath to keep moisture in and feed your soil life. But by capping it with sand, you cut off the pest-friendly environment at the surface while still preserving the benefits below. In practice, it's easy. Just keep your usual mulch, be it straw, shredded leaves, or wood chips, at about 1 to 2 inches thick. Alright, so what you want to do is sprinkle about a half inch of coarse horticultural sand right on top, completely covering the surface. After you give it a good watering, you'll notice the sand will settle just a bit, forming that dry, pest-deterring crust we've been talking about. So the sand fix is great for handling pests that breed in or crawl across the soil surface. But you might be wondering, what about those pesky critters that come from above? You know, aphids, leaf miners, spider mites, and even some beetles. They all need a different strategy. And that's where live garlic spray comes into play. You see, garlic isn't just for adding flavor in the kitchen, it's actually a potent natural insect deterrent that works through scent and taste. When you blend fresh garlic cloves into a spray, the sulfur compounds released are quite repellent to many sap-sucking and leaf-chewing insects. These compounds also have mild antifungal properties, which means your plants get double protection. The key here is fresh. Bottled or powdered garlic loses much of its punch. By making your spray from whole cloves blended with water, you get the maximum concentration of allicin, the active compound that pests hate. Making it is simple. Take 2 to 3 cloves of fresh garlic, blend them with a quart of water until smooth, then strain out the solids. For an extra kick, add a small pinch of cayenne powder before straining. Pour the liquid into a spray bottle and apply it directly to the leaves, especially the undersides where pests hide. Because it's natural and breaks down quickly, you'll need to reapply every 5 to 7 days, or after a rain. But unlike chemical sprays, it won't harm your soil life and it can be used right up until harvest. Individually, sand mulch and garlic spray are effective, but together they create a two-pronged defense, blocking ground-based pests before they start and deterring airborne ones from settling in. Within 2 weeks of switching to sand mulch, you should notice a sharp drop in gnat populations and fewer surface pests overall. Once you start regular garlic spraying, new leaf damage should slow dramatically. And because neither method harms beneficial insects or soil microbes, you're working with nature rather than against it. Over time, you may also see healthier root growth and stronger plants. Without pest pressure, seedlings can put more energy into leaves and flowers instead of constant repair. What I love most about these methods is that they fit into a bigger philosophy of gardening, intervening just enough to shift conditions in your favor without throwing your ecosystem out of balance. By using sand mulch, you're creating a drier microclimate on the surface while still allowing moisture and organic matter to work below. By using garlic spray, you're repelling pests without wiping out beneficial predators like ladybugs or lacewings. And here's a bonus. The sand mulch can last multiple seasons with just occasional top-ups, and garlic spray can be made from kitchen leftovers, costing you next to nothing. These aren't flashy quick fixes. They're quiet, consistent habits that slowly build a raised bed environment where pests just don't thrive, and where your plants can do exactly what they were meant to do, grow. If you found this helpful and you're ready to make your raised beds healthier and more pest-resistant, try this combo for 1 month and watch the difference. And when it works, and it will, share this video with a gardening friend who's been battling the same pests. Don't forget to subscribe to Hydro Haven so you never miss the next practical plant-loving tip we dig up.